Okay, so I'm back and I have a jacket on for some reason. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and be censoring some stuff here. Okay, lovely. what I'm gonna well, I mean, there's gonna be some things that are censored. Um, in regards, like this is gonna just be specific to trademark and copyright laws, and since I'm trying to present evidence, like I'm really trying to make sure that I don't have any problems because I mean, yes, there are like witness and victim tampering laws, and they even hypnotized me with some post hypnotic suggestions and thoughts, and even a distorted belief about those. Specifically, where I thought I was going to be able to if it wasn't like I was hypnotized to actually like when I was reading it, right? To have like, and this would be like the technicality of the situation, right? So I mean, if a witness or a victim would be trying to, um, you know, like uh, like any just trying to expose the evidence or disclose the evidence between a court or a judge, then they would not receive criminal punishment for that. That's what I thought that the charges would not apply, right? It would be a form of witness or victim tampering in order to press charges against them for attempting to do that. Kind of like a FBI like witness protection type of thing, right? Like say for example, if you were a drug dealer and you like sold and you witnessed a murder, it was something kind of like that I imagined, right? Something for like the safety of the witness or the victim. But so like that's what I imagined, right? Because like that would make sense. Okay, like well, I mean, if you were selling pot or something like that, and then you witnessed a murder, well, I mean, we're not gonna put you in prison just because you talked about the murder that you witnessed, right? That would make sense to me. That would be like, okay, well, I mean, I could understand where you know that would be considered witness tampering if you had to mention that specifically, and that was the reason that you got charged was part of the like witness testimony. If like the witness testimony that you presented regarding the murder got you charged with a drug charge or something along those lines, then I don't see that necessarily being too equitable, right? And that's I mean like that's just a simple example. Like that. Anyways, so like that's just a simple example. So I that's what they tried to make me believe. To be honest, that's what they did to me. So I thought like for example, if I violated a copyright law or a trademark, well, it would be considered witness tampering to try to or tampering with evidence to try to prevent me from disclosing the evidence to the public, right? That's what I thought it was. And I actually ended up even missing a court date because of it. Talking about witness tampering and victim tampering, they had to do that to make me miss a court date because I was under the impression that under witness tampering and victim tampering laws that I would not be, held reliable for that as long as I was literally ensuring. Sorry about that. Not For some reason I feel like the hypnosis is trying to make me say like public safety or something like that to ensure public safety, but that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, because I mean, the law does not specify this at all, actually, and that's the problem. That's why I have to censor some of this stuff. The reason being is the sense. Sorry about that. So like I didn't finish what I said either. I had to censor some of this stuff. I have to censor some of this stuff, and I can talk about two different subjects at once. It's not impossible to do. It's called multitasking. People could do that on a regular basis. The hypnosis has inhibited my ability to multitask specifically. Because like I've been abused to, frightening extents with hypnosis, and like even say for example with the witness tampering and the victim tampering aspect, right? Oh, with court. That's right. That's right. Because I was testifying as a witness to a crime, right? And that's what I was on Facebook doing at the time that it happened. Since it revolved, reporting an incident involving a crime, I thought that, I didn't have to go to court that day, right? That I would not be punished for it in the court of law for not going to court on that day because I thought I was handling a criminal case. Well, witness testimony and a victim testimony, right? In a public social media platform called Facebook. So that's what ended up happening. They tried to frame me, and they needed to do that as well. So, that's nice evidence as well, which sucks. Here it was, okay. But basically, with copyright laws, right? Well, if say for example, I had a piece of evidence, but like the evidence had some form of a trademarked logo on it or a copyright or something along those lines, and it would be a copyright violation for me to share that. Then I thought with witness and victim tampering laws that I would have been, basically protected under that federal U.S. code. But apparently I'm not. So I had to censor all this shit. So I had to look up the witness tampering and the victim tampering laws and clarify all that kind of stuff. And, it does kind of make me question, actually, that circumstance, what would end up happening. Because it's just like an interesting... that's like a confounding situation. But and there's definitely protection for people that are trying to, testify as witnesses or victims. Open up criminal cases and everything along those lines. Because that is really what ended up happening to me. It's witness tampering, it's victim tampering. Not just that, it was abuse. I didn't even, I didn't even do anything wrong. So, what I'm going to go ahead and get into here is, that's horrible. Right there. And especially with, the content, right, pertaining to a lot of crimes. Unfortunately, some of it has to be censored. Well, not necessarily completely has to. It's not like it's inappropriate for the internet, but basically I wouldn't be surprised if children were to end up viewing a lot of that content. And that's what it makes it difficult. Just with certain subjects, you have to be a little bit careful, right? And this should be nice and traumatizing. Wow, that's horrible. That is horrible. So yeah, what ended up happening to me is traumatizing to hear, is what I'm explaining. Or at least, it can be traumatizing to hear, but These things don't like to stick very well. Because I'm trying to only like cover up the parts that I have to. I mean, I would be tampering with evidence if I used a marker. And I also think I've talked about witness tampering and victim tampering laws before too. Um, Even with like how I was financially exploited with hypnosis. And sorry about that. The hypnosis is inhibiting my ability to say what I'm trying to say. It's witness and victim tampering. I mean, that's what you're witnessing right now with hypnosis. Ooh, there's the financial exploitation page. By the way, wow, what just happened? That's a coincidence because I didn't even I didn't even like realize that this was specifically about financial exploitation when I was saying that, and you just saw my facial reaction like of shock when I said that. It was like I guess unconsciously I kind of knew, and the but it wasn't in my conscious awareness because of the hypnosis. That's how that kind of stuff works, right? So then, like when I flip to the other side, whoa, that makes sense. So I can't use trademarks, right? And I can't use song lyrics. And one of them specifically, this is the part that's really weird, is I think they also did this intentionally so that my videos would get taken down if I tried to publicize them. It's an elaborate form of tampering with a witness or tampering with a victim and tampering with evidence. Because if I recorded a video of evidence and then it had a copyright or a trademark violation in it, and I uploaded the video, right, then it would be able to be taken down because of copyright or trademark violations, right? And I mean that when it normally would not have been taken down unless they, included a trademark or a copyright violation specifically, intentionally just to prevent the video from being able to be shared online without violating copyright or trademark laws, right? Because then it would be instead of I remember them telling me this actually. Instead of them taking it offline, right? They would just or instead of them taking it offline or having to deal with it being online, right? They'd just be able to let copyright and trademark violations take it off for me, right? They would make it illegal for me to share evidence. That's what I mean, right? They're so abusive. They're extremely abusive. Alright, so I'm looking through here. I'm not seeing anything specifically, and I'm gonna make sure I'm thorough enough. I mean, there was one piece of evidence that had a lot of song lyrics in it. Too many song lyrics for me to be able to cover it up and use it as evidence, actually. And luckily though, I mean, this is a really nice thing with song names and artist names. It's not considered a copyright violation. technically. I mean, lyrics are, but just the name of the song and then the name of the person is not. So, I don't have to worry about witness tampering or victim tampering in that sense. Oh, the hypnosis is really inhibiting me right now. It's like, I mean, that feeling that would describe from, they told me they were going to take me to the laundromat, hypnotize me to feel like my brain was spinning through a washing machine on the spin cycle, turning to mush. And they hypnotized me to feel like dizzy, disoriented, confused, nauseated, to experience memory loss whenever I would try to disclose evidence or collect evidence, gather evidence, learn anything, variety of different things, right? And I'm able to feel that, right? It's very, very distinct feeling. So I had to point it out because oftentimes, like my facial expressions and my body language and tone of voice and the way I'm talking, especially when I'm talking consistently, then you're able to see some type of impairment from, my normal cognitive abilities. Sorry about that. So the hypnosis is being used to extensively abuse me right now, and also slow down my ability to speak, my ability to articulate. Yeah. Ah. 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 I have a lot of evidence here. Yeah, this one's really easy to use, but it's not really the best one example. It's not my favorite by any means. Ah. And also, I was even hypnotized to, there's one. Okay, great. Ugh. Well, I mean, anyways, yeah, this gets pretty like, cause I mean, if you like try to explain those drawings, right? um, I mean, the one specifically where I'm writing, and then it turns into a picture. Like, I mean, how does that happen, right? On accident. Ah. Oh my. Sorry about this. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me a lot. This is not nice. Mm. Ah. Ah. And then when you think about, it's called inhibiting the critical. Well, I mean, it's called the critical faculty. So if you're able to get that shut offline, there's a lot of things that can happen, unfortunately, because of it. Mm. Mm. Oh, wait. Uh, It probably works out a lot better for me that I actually censored my own evidence quite a bit. Alright, so I mean, there's all those. And let me see. So the hypnosis is inhibiting me a lot, and I was also hypnotized to like elicit, reactions of anger and everything along those lines. So there's a variety of different post-hypnotic suggestions that are able to be distinguished and noticeable. That I'm going to go over in the video when I make it, which is going to be very, very soon. Let's see. I'm going to try it without first, and then, see. Because I just want to explain, okay, I have some drawings, speeches, sorry about that. Alright, so hypnosis is, okay. The hypnosis, okay, there we go. So that was one example, right? So when I would try to articulate something specifically, that the hypnosis would be able to inhibit me with going unnoticed, I was hypnotized to feel angry. Or, moreover, specifically, if anything that I'm doing is noticeable, or if it's noticeable that my speech is inhibited, then, the more angry I am, actually, the more convicting it is. It's not mental illness. That's so nice. Victory! The more angry and emotional I am in the videos, wow, okay. There's an example. Victim and witness tampering right there. Mostly victim tampering. The more... Sorry about that. The more... Oh, and I have some evidence that I need to put away, too. These were from the last video. Let's see. And I'm going to fold this in half. So then I don't have to worry about the stickiness. Or messing with anything, right? So hold on just a second. Got a little evidence locker. Here. Those are just miscellaneous. Those are mostly examples of when, because what I started to do as another form of collecting evidence of the hypnosis was, when they started to inhibit my ability to write while I was writing, and there would be any abnormalities in my handwriting as a direct result of the hypnosis, I would just put it away, and I would use that single piece of paper as a form of evidence. There were a few different things that I would do with it, but yeah. Anyways, that was another one. That was another one that I did actually. So I have a lot of videos. I have a lot of pages, right? Pieces of paper that'll say the same I sometimes I'd have to rewrite it 20 times, and it would just be a few sentences or something like that, and there would be something that messed up with my handwriting, or I'd write the wrong word, whatever the case might be. So then I preserved those as evidence of it instead of just throwing it away and letting the hypnosis inhibit me. I used it against them. Lovely, right? That's a lot of evidence. I should include that too. This is one I'm gonna use as a form of evidence. There we go. And I need to check here. There we go. There was the audible elicitation of anger. There we go. I like that word a lot better. The audible elicitation of anger that I was referencing, that I was hypnotized to feel in response to post-hypnotic suggestion. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, and this is even evidence because I had this recorded before the last video. I mean, yeah, I even wrote it too. There we go. This is a very specific example I think I'm actually going to use. So this is this is on page 1, the back side of page 1, part 1, hypnosis, speech inhibition. And then there's evidence of it inhibiting my ability to articulate. Because it's in the same phrasing that, like, I was talking about, like, exert, exclaim, right? Trying to talk about it and everything like that. And then audible elicitation of anger is the specific word that I wanted to use. And then you can see in here, it says elicit a noticeable feeling of anger. Elicit a noticeable feeling of anger. Noticeable feeling. There we go.